Oh.
Okay. All right, everybody. Hello, and thank you for joining us this Monday night. My name is Sarah Ann, and I'm super excited to introduce to you Carleigh. She is our holistic health coach and personal trainer. So you are going to have oodles of knowledge, and there will be a question and answer at the end. So feel free to either type your name in the chat box at the bottom. If you're on your phone or on your computer screen, there should be a little chat box. You can click that and enter any questions you have. So that way at the end I can go through those and we can ask Carleigh, or you can just wait to the end if you remember and you can personally ask her. I will unmute you to do so. And like I mentioned, we'll be doing a giveaway. So make sure you're on for the whole thing, and I will do a prize wheel and somebody will be going home with an oil. So Carleigh, are you ready?
I am. I'll just need to, how do I share my screen?
You should be able to at the bottom. It should say share.
Okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so can you all see this front? Hold on. How do I? This thing covers the play. There we go.
Yes, there you go.
Okay, so you see the screen? All
yep.
right.
Can you see me?
Huh?
Do you see me or do you see Becky?
I see you. Perfect.
Perfect. Awesome.
All right, Becky too. This is great. All right, so you guys can tell me if anything's going wrong. So just a little bit about me. I know Sarah's kind of told you already that I'm a personal trainer and holistic health coach. I became a personal trainer about 17 years ago, and I became a holistic health coach about 5 years ago. Now, I've always been very passionate about health and nutrition, especially the nutrition part. I've just been studying it for the last 20 years and just love, finding the new research, the new diets, and see what's out there. Now, I have 2 kids as well. You can see in that picture there. My son's 11 and my daughter's 9. So 11 years ago, when I had my son, here I thought I was healthy and fit and knew everything there was to know about nutrition until he was born. And when my son was born, he was born with multiple food allergies, and he had a high candida yeast content that was developing in his mouth. By the time he was 9 months old, when his teeth started to emerge, they started turning yellow and deteriorating. And by the time he was 15 months old, he had bottle rot syndrome. If you've ever heard of that, that's where all the 4 front teeth in the front top of your mouth and the bottom of your mouth start to rot away. I had to go to 7 different dentists to ask what was going on. They all said it was my fault, because they like to point the finger at moms and say that it was because I was giving him juice. I said, the child's never touched juice. It's because you give him the bottle at night. I'm like, he's strictly breastfed. Well, that's why we say to stop breastfeeding at 12 months old. I said, he's 15 months old. So come to find out, I was left on my own to do a lot of research. I had to go through 7 dentists because they all wanted to hospitalize my baby, put him under anesthesia, and yank out all of his teeth and put caps. That concerned me as a mother because, for one, I didn't know if he'd be allergic to anesthesia. 2, if they didn't put the caps in right, he couldn't talk to me to tell me they were fitting his mouth properly. So that led me on a whole new journey of trying to figure out what was going on with his teeth, which is where I found out he had multiple food allergies. That led me down a streamline of toxins and things that we eat and all sorts of other things. Now, one of the common things and threads throughout all the research I did was essential oils. Now, I had come across essential oils about 18 years ago, but it was like tea tree oil, lavender. I really didn't know more than that. It took me a long time to understand what essential oils were. And it wasn't until I found doTERRA about 5 years ago that I understood that quality mattered. And so that's kind of the history of where I came into really being passionate about nutrition, because I realized once I saw what was happening with my son here, I thought I was eating a healthy diet, and I realized I was doing a lot of things wrong. So I took myself back to school and became a holistic health coach. I studied over 100 dietary theories to see what was really at the foundation of health and nutrition. And it's not like in the fitness industry when you're in a gym and pumping iron, it's a lot of egg whites and oatmeal and peanut butter and whey proteins. And I realized that really isn't a healthy diet. It's a way to put on a lot of muscle, but it's not something that's going to help detox you and nourish your body. And that's why I wanted to go to school and really understand the foundation of health and what it means for all of us. So that's kind of my background and my story that led me to doTERRA and led me into the health coaching. So today we'll get into a little bit more about that on the detoxing, but today we're here to talk about a few things, mostly detox. So why is detox so important? How to detox effectively, and how often should we be detoxing? And what can we use to help us with our detoxing? Now, most of the time, the kind of classes we teach are usually basic oil classes. I don't know if anybody on here has gone to a basic oil class. If you haven't, I would really recommend that you reach up to the person that invited you and do a basic oil class, because I'm not going to be really going into the foundation of the oils and why they're good, even though we're going to be talking about using the oils primarily internally, but also we're going to get into topically and also aromatically. But I'm not going to get into the basic education around that. So I really encourage anybody who hasn't learned that to go ahead and reach out to somebody that can do a class. And I believe maybe at the end of this month, because usually in November, doTERRA does do a BOGO week where we get buy one, get one free on the oils. And we usually teach a basic oil class around those oils. So hopefully at the end of the month, we might have one of those classes, and we can find out from Sarah maybe later about that as well. So this first question, let's go ahead and jump into this one. Why is detox so important for us? Well, this picture explains it all right here. We are bombarded by toxins every single day in every single way. The air we breathe constantly, it doesn't matter. We could have a job that exposes us to a ton of toxins, chemical toxins. We can be driving on any freeway and be exposed. The food that we eat, the American diet, is full of toxins. It's sad to say, but the majority of us are eating those things on that picture. We might not be doing it on a daily basis, but they are finding their way into our diet on a weekly basis. Our cleaning products, even the things that we're putting on our skin, our stress, we're constantly sick. We are seeing more and more viruses and illnesses popping up that we didn't have before. And those are taxing our body and making our bodies collect toxins that they didn't collect before. The stress of just everything, work, kids, being sick, emotions. I would even put trauma in there. They're finding a lot more research on the trauma of childhood and just everyday things that happen to us create traumas, and we store those traumas in our body, and those store into our deep tissues and other parts of our bodies. And so just like we need to remove toxins from our bodies, those emotions can be like toxins as well that we need to release. And that could be a whole nother class in itself, but we're just finding more and more research that that's another thing. And stress in itself, if you look at the 6 killers of chronic illness that really end up killing us, stress is really a contributing factor of every single one of those. So it is not something to be undermined. When we think of toxins, we're always thinking of these other things, but stress is really one of those main ones that we really want to consider and watch out for. So from here, what I would like to ask you guys, so, sometimes we can really trick ourselves and talk ourselves into thinking, well, I'm doing pretty good on these areas. But here are some symptoms that you can think about just for yourself personally. These are symptoms of toxins and needing a detox. Do you have brain fog? Do you have sleep problems? Do you have muscle or joint pain? Are you exhausted all the time? Are you sensitive to smells? Do you get headaches from chemical smells? Do you have body odor or bad breath? Do you have skin issues like rashes? Do you have problems with constipation? Do you have depression? Do you have hormonal imbalances? All of these things, we might have 1, we might have 2, we might have 3. When we have that every single day, we're not really thinking it's a result of toxins. We're really thinking, oh, well, I just didn't sleep well tonight, but tomorrow night's going to be a better night. But when you really look back and consistently look at these things, really it ultimately is a matter of toxins and needing to detox. Now, here's something about the body. Our body knows how to detox. It's something it does every single day. But we have so much of this that's piling in that our bodies are always bombarded with things and weighed down that it's hard for them to let go of them so quickly. So that's why we really need to look at these symptoms and look at these things and see, okay, what kind of things can I do to try to prevent this from getting worse? So on this next slide, this is one of the reasons why I came to doTERRA as a company, not just because of the essential oils, but because their foundation is on a wellness lifestyle. They aren't just about selling oils and making people, happy in that way, but they know that if you want true health, I mean, we can use oils for everything, but if we are doing all those things on that other side, eating a bad diet, not getting enough sleep, being stressed out, we can use all the oils we want, but if we don't have the foundation here, then we know that that's not going to be enough just to use the oil. We really have to have the foundation of eating right, exercising, getting enough sleep, managing the stress, reducing our toxic load by the chemicals around us that we put on us, having informed self-care, and being proactive with our medical care. So if you have a pen and paper, I don't know if anybody brought any to take notes, but you can take just a quick second, look at each of these points and rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being awesome and 1 not so good. Where would you rate yourself today? Do you think you eat pretty good? How's your exercise? Daily, weekly? How many hours of sleep are you getting? What do you do when you are stressed out? What kind of chemicals are you using in your house to clean with, to, do your laundry with? What kind of things do you put on your skin? We all wear makeup, right? So self-care, I mean, it's self-care we can think of, taking a bubble bath, but that's not necessarily self-care. I mean, that's a great form, but what are other things that we do for self-care? So if anybody wants to share in the chat box what you've rated, you can do that. If you don't want to share, you don't have to. But this kind of breaks it down a little bit more. So after, kind of getting an idea of what number you might be, does it look something like this? Eating right. Are you eating 9 to 10 servings of fruits and vegetables every day? That sounds like a whole lot, but half a cup to a cup is a serving. So when you really think about it, are you getting that much? For exercise, it is recommended that every adult should be getting 30 minutes of exercise a day at least, if not an hour. For sleep, we should be getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep a day. Those hours should be from 10 p.m. to around 6 a.m., give or take. We know through research that our bodies, talking about detox, our bodies love to collect toxins that we've accumulated throughout the day, and it collects from about 11 p.m. till about 2, 3 in the morning. So if we aren't sleeping in those hours, our body is not collecting toxins like it's supposed to, so it can eliminate them for the next day. So that's really something important to think about. What about managing stress? Deep breathing is just a very simple way of doing it, but it's so simple sometimes we forget. Are you taking deep breaths? Are you breathing right through, like belly breaths? Yoga can be a good way of de-stressing. Exercise, obviously. Going for walks, having a friend to talk to, those are ways you can manage your stress. And then, of course, using natural organic products to clean our house, or beauty products. We are finding more and more beauty products that are available to us because they are finding that it's a necessity for us, especially as women, that we need this. And then, of course, taking responsibility for your own daily habits. Are you taking responsibility for that? Or are you waiting for other people to do that? Do you have a medical doctor that you have a trusted relationship with? Or do you just wait until you're sick and then it's too late? So those are really things that you want to be proactive about looking into so that you can really help yourself and not wait until it's too late. I personally can testify to this on so many levels. Part of my story is that I have Lyme disease. I got contracted by a tick of some sort. I'm assuming it was a tick. I was 17 years old, and I went to visit my brother in Oklahoma. And when I came back, 2 weeks later, I came down with flu-like symptoms and had a bullseye rash on my back. And back then, I lived in a desert at the time, so nobody knew anything about Lyme disease because we didn't have deer. It wasn't something that you would see in the desert anyway. But interestingly enough, a magazine came in the mail around the same time that I had this bullseye rash, and it was talking about Lyme disease. So my mom took me to the doctor with this magazine, showed the doctor, and thankfully we had a doctor that was open-minded and said, you know what, I think you might be onto something. So she tested me for Lyme, and it came out negative, which is not uncommon for it to do, especially in the early stages. But she's like, you know what, I think you're right. I'm going to go ahead and give her the medication that she needs for it. So she put me on antibiotics that you would do for Lyme disease. The flu-like symptoms went away, the rash went away, and of course, we all thought I was fine. Nobody knew anything about Lyme. They didn't understand that it acts like an autoimmune disorder. It stays with you for life, and that it can go dormant, but it's something that you're constantly having to fight. I do believe that antibiotics helped me to have a milder case of it than something that hit me like a semi-truck later in life. However, I've always wondered, why is it everybody else at the gym can work out so hard and get such good results, and I get sick so easy? Why is it when on certain days I have a hard time getting out of the bed, and just to put laundry from the washer to the dryer is like running a marathon for me? All these little things are what showed me that, something wasn't right. So I had to go back and get tested and found out more about Lyme disease and how it stays with you and how it works. And the thing is that you want to remember is that they're learning so much about children that, to go back to my son's story, you can pass Lyme disease to your children in utero. You can pass toxins to your children in utero. So you have this healthy, beautiful baby that appears to be healthy and beautiful, but they could be full of toxins. And so you have no idea what's going on with that child when you first hold them in your arms. So being able to be proactive before pregnancy, to be able to know what's going on in your body and to be able to do things to help yourself, to eat right and do the things to kind of keep that toxic burden as low as possible so that you don't have health problems, not just for you, but for your children. I learned the hard way because I just didn't know. But that's just kind of a little bit on my story about the foundation of these things. I will tell you, I don't have to have medication for Lyme. I don't do anything special for my Lyme except eat right, exercise. I sleep from 10 to 6 or 9 to 5. I do things to manage my stress. I don't use toxic chemicals anymore. I just can't even handle doing that. And the essential oils have been fantastic. And then of course the detoxing we're going to get into as well. There's a lot of other things you can do, but I will say, like, I am able to really, like, for some of the cases you would see of Lyme, like, it's pretty incredible the things that I can do on a daily basis compared to other people who aren't doing the foundations of these things. So it is important, and it does make a huge difference. So going into the pathways of detox, does anybody have any questions, or is anything popping up, Sarah? Because I can't see the chat box. I just want to make sure I give people time to say anything if they need to.
I don't see the chat box. Does anybody have a question? Feel free to unmute yourself and ask if you do.
Okay, so I want to just go into each of these pathways because it is important to understand how our body detoxes. So we hear a lot about, the liver and detoxing the liver, but I've kind of put these in order. I'm not going to say one is more important than the other, but the colon is pretty important from the aspect that when you detox anything from the liver makes bile. It has to go somewhere. Well, where is it going to go? It's either going to go through the kidneys to the urinary tract and come out as urine, or it's going to go make bile and come out through the colon. Well, the colon, the way to detox that colon is really through fiber and hydration. If you're not getting enough fiber in your diet, how are you going to eliminate anything? If you're already struggling with constipation, how is anything going to come out? So you really want to focus on that colon and getting it nice and healthy. So enough fiber per day. The recommendation for fiber per day is 25 to 35 grams per day. That sounds like a lot, and it could be a lot if you're not eating any fruits and vegetables. But just to give you an idea, a regular sized apple or pear is about 5 grams. So if you ate 1 pear and 1 apple a day, you're already up 10 grams of fiber. Pretty easy, 2 pieces of fruit. So just add, think of more vegetables that you could be adding to that. But really keeping that hydration going so that everything runs out really nice and smooth.
Hey, Carleigh, what are some of the most popular vegetables that are high in fiber?
The things that I like are the root vegetables. You can roast them, you can eat them raw. Greens, green leafy vegetables, kale, spinach, broccoli. Broccoli is amazing. You can do the broccoli sprouts or just do regular broccoli. The crucifix vegetables like the cabbage, carrots, just anything like that you want to add. Making a really great salad that you're eating every day and making sure you're doing 2 to 3 cups of that per day with your fruits. Your berries, raspberries have like 9 grams of fiber per serving. So 1 cup of raspberries is like 9 grams of fiber. If you eat a whole avocado, that's 5 grams of fiber. So just giving you some ideas, like if you're, just think fruits and vegetables. Every meal should have a fruit or a vegetable or both. And if you are eating 3 meals a day, make sure you're getting 2 to 3 fruits or vegetables per meal so that you can get that 9 to 10 vegetables and fruits per day. Okay, so that's your colon. So going into your liver and kidneys. So the thing about the liver that's pretty amazing is it has 500 different functions. It is also the only organ that can regenerate itself. Some of the functions that it has is it creates, it's important for creating bile production. It's responsible for metabolizing your fat, metabolizing your hormones. It converts your vitamins to an active form, and it also stores vitamins for you until you're able to use them for later. It supports the kidneys. It helps regulate your blood pressure. It helps regulate your hormones. It affects your energy levels. The kidneys are like your body's filter system. So that helps regulate the proper fluid and electrolyte levels that you have. It's responsible for your pH levels. It's responsible for releasing your hormones so that they are doing their job when they're supposed to be doing it. So these two I kind of combine together as a system, but they are different. But lots of water for both of them. A lot of the lemon and citrus oils are really good for these 2 organs. Beets. I'm going to tell you, beets are amazing. So they are like a superfood in themselves. You can juice them if you have a juicer, but if you don't, you could blend them with water. The great thing about beets also is that the stores have beet juice. Just make sure you're getting one if you look at the ingredients that it doesn't have added sugar or anything like that. But I had a client, she was an older client, and she was in a lot of pain. She was having a lot of health issues, and she was having a lot of back issue. Well, they had her on a lot of medications, and so she was starting to have liver problems and kidney problems. And so she was asking me, what can I do to help? Because it was to the point where her kidneys were wanting to shut down and her liver was so toxified that the doctors were going to have to do some intrusive care to her. So I told her she needed to start drinking 16 ounces of beet juice a day. She didn't have a juicer. It wasn't practical for her to go buy one and start now. So she just went to the store and she started drinking 16 ounces a day. She went back to the doctor and did her blood work and checked her kidney level and her liver function 4 weeks later, and the doctor couldn't believe it. He could not believe how much her liver and kidney started functioning properly and doing their job. So I just like to tell people it's like an amazing thing to try. It's super easy. It's cost effective. So it's worth trying if you're having any kind of liver or kidney problems. But there are a lot of essential oils that are good for this. I don't know. Geranium is also just something amazing for the liver. The kidneys, to support the urinary tract and going that direction, is juniper berry. And I believe Sarah has experience in this as well, and she'll tell you that you love turmeric now too, don't you?
Oh, I love turmeric, especially since we came out with the turmeric double capsule that we just released at convention.
Yeah, and so I will add turmeric to the liver as well. Those are two amazing things. And something else you can do for the liver is castor oil packs. If you don't know much about castor oil packs, I really encourage you to Google and research it and find out more about it. There's a lot of different ways you can do it, but on Amazon or other places, you can get an actual nice little pack that's easy to use instead of making your own, because it's kind of messy. You want to put organic castor oil on that. You can add some drops of geranium, turmeric, lemon, whatever you like that's good for the liver. And you want to place that over your liver for at least 2 hours. And then you can put a heating pad over it if you like, or you can just leave it as is. But not only will it help with your colon, because the castor oil will help you eliminate, but it is also really great for drawing out toxins from the liver. So I just like to tell people that's another option. We want to really just look at all the ways we can detox. Okay, so
Can
now.
I jump in real quick?
Huh?
Can I jump in real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
So for your lots of water, what is the average intake that an adult should be getting of water?
So they usually say half of your body weight in ounces is what you should be taking as far as water.
And now when you personal train your clients and they're working out harder or they're doing marathons, they should be drinking more.
Absolutely, yes.
And then when you're adding, you should be adding citrus oils every single day to your water if you can. Obviously, the lemon is great, it's high in limonene. The grapefruit, wild orange, tangerine, lime, those are all great oils, and you can even mix them up. They came out with clementine last month. And when you're drinking, I know Carleigh wasn't going to go over this, but I do, we have a lot of new people on. So when you're drinking citrus in your water, make sure it's glass. If you're using a straw, make sure it's stainless steel or a glass straw, or don't use a straw. Same thing, you can use stainless steel water bottle. You just don't want to use plastic or styrofoam. Citrus essential oils break down petrochemicals, and plastic is a petrochemical. So you don't want to be drinking those toxic fumes. And then beet juice. I did have a question on that. I can beets. I love beets. I make beets all the time. Can I just eat the beets and get the same benefits, or would I be consuming a lot of beets? Would it just be better to put them in a blender?
Yeah, I really think like if you have something severe going on that needs quick and fast action, I always tell people when you juice, because so many people ask, what's better? Should I be juicing? Should I be blending? Should I be eating raw with the fiber and the roughage? And here's my thing. If you're dealing with something really that is pretty severe and it needs quick help, I'd say juice. Juicing to me is like a shot in the arm. You need it and you need it now. But fiber is great too, right? We just talked about how much fiber we need. So we don't want to always be juicing and leaving out all of our fiber. But there are times, like I feel like personally in the morning, like when you want to cleanse out all, like I said, all those toxins are building all night long so that they can be eliminated fast. So I personally do my juicing first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. And then I start doing my fiber intake as the day goes on. And I do that because I want to be able to have like that empty stomach feeling where I'm cleansing like a water, if you were to do lemon water in the morning. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. So to answer your question about the beets, if it's something that you know you're having an issue, I would definitely go for the juice. And then if it's not that severe, shred them and add them to a salad. You know, if you don't like beets, I would start, you know, adding them little by little until you acquire a taste for them. They usually say you need to be exposed to the taste of something 8 to 10 times before you don't have an aversion to it anymore. So it takes a while to get used to a taste of something. So you definitely want to try to start liking the things that are healthy for you, but you don't like the flavor of it. But yeah, does that answer your question? Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's go on to the lymphatic system. So the lymphatic system is responsible for 90% of your immune system. These organs are part of it. The thymus, the spleen, your tonsils, your bone marrow, and then of course, you, like if you see in that picture, all your lymph nodes. We know very well about what lymph nodes are, but these are where they travel throughout your body. Now, a lot of people will tell you, well, you can just take a supplement and that'll help cleanse out your lymphatic system. It doesn't really work that way. So if the lymphatic system, it's, you know, it has a lot of fluid in it because it's constantly moving and it's constantly flowing. But if it's sluggish, that's not working. If you have a lot of toxins, well, the body is smart. The liver's going to clean out toxins. Well, where do you think it's going to throw them? It's going to throw them in the lymphatic system so the lymphatic system can move them out of the body. But if your lymphatic system is weighed down with toxins and is sluggish, they're not going anywhere. They're sitting in you. If you look around, we live in a society where what woman can say today that they don't have cellulite of some sort? And I don't care what size you are. You can be bone skinny and have cellulite today. Why is that? It's crazy. We didn't have this 100 years ago, but we didn't have the toxins that we have now 100 years ago. So that just goes to show they're collecting and our lymphatic system is not able to get rid of them. So what are some of the ways that we can assist the lymphatic system? Now, yes, can you take supplements and use essential oils internally and externally on the skin to help? Absolutely. I'm not saying you can't use a supplement to help with relieving that sluggishness, but that's not going to be what's really going to help. What's really going to do the main work is moving it. So there are certain yoga poses that you can do, the downward dog, things like that, that allow your body to be upside down and for that lymphatic system to be draining the opposite way. Rebounding. If you don't know what rebounding is, that basically is just getting on a small trampoline like we did in the old days in the 80s. Think Jane Fonda era, and just bouncing up and down. That it's that up and down that's making the lymphatic system go. Dry brushing. I don't know if you guys know what a dry brush is, but it's just a little handle with a brush, soft bristles, and you just want to start at your ankles and you want to go up your body, and all those main hubs that you see on that system go right over your lymph nodes. It's really important to go through the armpits and you kind of lead all the way to the heart area. You should be doing that every day. It doesn't take long. 5 minutes, 7 minutes total. Best to do it before a shower because you get everything moving, but that would be the best thing to do. After dry brushing, that would be the time. If you take a shower afterwards, then I would also apply my citrus oils, grapefruit, lemon, lime, things like that. Another awesome place that I just learned about a few months ago that I'm like, it's been a game changer for me because having Lyme disease, and I also have Epstein-Barr virus. Lyme loves a lot of friends. So I collect a lot of friends as far as infections. So I have Epstein-Barr. I have several different viruses that attach. I was very prone to mold toxicity. I lived in an apartment in Colorado that had mold. Well, mold and Lyme and Epstein-Barr are like this trio that love each other and they wreak havoc on the system. So my body was so taxed full of the mold and other things that my lymphatic system was completely sluggish and it couldn't do anything. So being able to do the dry brushing and the rebounding and applying these essential oils on topically has been an absolute game changer. So one of the secrets that I just learned is that you have right where your collarbone is, if you were to kind of bend over your arm upward and kind of see where your collarbone and your neck, you have that little dip, like a little cup in there. That is a huge hub for your lymphatic system. So after you were to dry brush or take a shower, rebound, or any of those things where you get the lymphatic system going, you want to take a drop of lemon, lime, grapefruit, anything like citrusy, and stick it right in that little cup area. Another area is right in the thin skin part of your inner elbow on the inside. So just think 1, 2, 3, 4 drops. You want to put 1 drop in each of those areas. Put a little carrier oil in there as well, so it'll stay a little bit longer. But that's going to be the areas that if you're really wanting to help the lymphatic system, you want to stick them in those areas. Okay, so another part of the pathways of detox, I don't have it on here, but I don't want to leave it out. I just want to talk about it real quickly, is our respiratory system, our lungs. I don't want to leave those out. It's really important. Our lungs do a lot of detoxing in themselves. We saw in that one slide, we're getting a lot of toxins through our air passages anyway. So one of the things that you can do for your lungs is aromatic. So a lot of this stuff we talked about is internal, and it's topical use of the oils. But aromatically, whenever you're breathing in the oils, or cupping, which is just putting an essential oil in your palm, putting over your nose and mouth, inhaling, breathing it in, that's cupping. That's a way to kind of open up your airways. A way to detox your respiratory system would be to do steam therapy. Think old school. Get a hot metal bowl, fill it full of hot water, put a towel over your head, put a couple of drops of essential oil in there that's good for your lungs. Cover yourself with a towel and breathe that in. That breaks up all that mucus and helps to get some of the toxins out of your respiratory system. So I just wanted to kind of add that in so we didn't leave that out.
Can I say what are a couple of oils that are good for your lungs, so that way they can write them down too?
Breathe. Absolutely breathe. Geranium, ginger.
Marjoram or cardamom.
Cardamom, thank you. Yes, Leanne will tell you all about respiratory. That's her main target. We all have a weakness in our body that when we have toxins or other things, our body gets attacked. So Leanne's is her lungs. So she can tell you amazing stories about what helps with her lungs as well.
Oh yeah, I just want to add, Carleigh, that our lungs are on the same pathway as our colon. So when our colon's clean, it also keeps our lungs clean.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is you can't target one organ and not target the others. They're all connected, but
right.
If you nourish one over the other, these are kind of some things you can do. But absolutely, they all work simultaneously. You can't clean your liver and not clean your colon. You can't clean your colon and not clean your lymphatic system or your skin or your lungs, right? You have to clean all of them. So yeah, exactly. Thanks for bringing that out, Leanne. Okay, any other questions or anything? Okay, so the skin. This is going to be our last detox pathway. It doesn't mean it's the least important. The skin is the largest organ we have, so it's just as important as the rest. The skin is responsible for keeping out a majority of the toxins that we come across. It does its job well. Imagine if it didn't, you know, have that barrier for us, we would have so many other things come into our bodies that we didn't want. But the way we detox through the skin is through sweat. Well, exercise. If you look at the American sedentary lifestyle that we have, we don't exercise like we used to, which means we aren't sweating like we used to. That's a huge health problem for all of us. So we want to really make sure we're getting that 30 minutes to an hour of exercise. And parts of that, I'm not saying the whole thing, but parts of it need to be vigorous exercise. Your heart rate needs to be up. You need to break a sweat. It's good for your heart, cardiovascular wise. You need that. But also that allows that sweat, that toxins to come, all these organs and systems to start working together simultaneously to get things going. So that's really important. If you're having problems sweating, if you can't exercise, something that's incredible are infrared saunas. I don't know if anybody knows much about infrared saunas. We've all heard of saunas. Infrared saunas are different. I'm not going to say saunas aren't good. Anything that's going to get you sweating is going to be great. So if all you have access to is a sauna, go for it, use it, utilize it. The goal is to sweat, relieve toxins from the body. But infrared saunas are different from the aspect that they're not as hot as a regular sauna, and they're dry. It's not a wet sauna, and it's a lower temperature, and it heats your body from the inside out. Now, if you do a far infrared sauna, that's where you do more of that inside out. If you do a near infrared sauna, same benefits, but you actually have these red bulbs, and it actually penetrates your skin. It can penetrate, depending on which kind of sauna you're using, it can penetrate from 1 inch to even 3 inches sometimes through the skin. Well, if you think 3 inches through the skin, you're reaching the bone, you're reaching your organs. It's going to detox you. And there are huge, incredible studies. I encourage you, if you don't know anything about it, Google it, research it, find out more about infrared saunas. I've heard a lot of sources say if there was one thing that they could bottle and put in a pill and give somebody and it would pretty much heal almost everything they had, it would be an infrared sauna. And I believe it because I've been using it for about 5 months, and I cannot tell you what a game changer it was to rid myself of mold toxicity and get some of these viruses under control. It's been huge. And the bonus is it builds your mitochondria. And we're learning more and more about how important our mitochondria is in the function of our energy level. Our livers are responsible for helping to regulate energy, but if we're so bombarded by toxins, we can't build that mitochondria on that cellular level. So it's really important to have resources that help us to do that, and infrared saunas are one of those. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next thing. Going on with skin, I'm going to have Sarah kind of help us out here. So if you wanted, she was kind enough to give us her expertise on a certain aspect of detoxing the lymphatic system and the skin system, and that is through armpit detox. So take it away, Sarah.
Thank you, Carleigh. All right, so yes, armpit detoxing. People are like, oh my gosh, what is that? It is so incredible to do. Not only is it helping you pull out heavy metals that you used to use in your deodorants that, especially for women, can lead to breast cancer, you know, and some men too get breast cancer. Actually, this just made me think of something as I was saying that out loud with the men. My boyfriend, when we were going through his clothes, he had this one shirt, and I lifted it up, and near his armpits from his old deodorant, it sparkled, you guys. I'm not even kidding. I wish I would have saved it for classes to show you when he was sweating at the gym. It was one of his gym t-shirts. It would come out, and it was like a hard in that area, and it literally sparkled. You saw the aluminum coming out of his pores. How scary is that? Good thing they're getting out. But all those lymph nodes, like Carleigh was talking about, when you dry brush, they go straight to your breasts. Us as women, you're worrying about breast cancer, you're worrying about breastfeeding. So those are things, like Carleigh mentioned, you can pass on to your children when you breastfeed. So why do you armpit detox? Not only is it detoxing your lymph nodes that are connected to your breast tissue, but it's also detoxing your body. It's going to help pull things out. So there's, well, why would you detox? We're talking about detoxing. It's going to be helpful for your body, but also when you're switching from your deodorants to a natural deodorant, this is a great way to kind of give your body that rest it needs to switch over to the natural deodorant and make it a lot more pleasant for you and those around you. So when you're making that switch to natural deodorant, it's going to help rid the cells of toxins. It's going to pull everything out, and it's going to pull out some of that funk. You might smell like cat litter, you might have some horrible BO for a little bit, but it's doing its job. And what is really great, because it's pulling out the synthetics, those toxins they're building up that are just coming in, like the first slide Carleigh had of, you know, the stress toxins. It's coming from the pollutants in the sky and from your work environment. Everything that you're coming into, it's going to help rid your body. It's going to help reduce the body odor and reduce sweating over time. It's going to help boost up that immune system, which is always great. It's going to keep you nice and healthy. And it's also, like I mentioned, helping to detox the body. So this is something that I recommend doing as maintenance. This is something so easy that you can all start today and do this every 3 months. And it's funny, once the end of that 3 months starts to come, you'll start to notice, oh my gosh, I'm starting to smell a little bit more, or you can tell when you have a really bad day of eating and you're not doing those self-care tips and or you're just exposed to more toxins, you become so in tune with your body, you can smell the difference in your BO, as weird as that sounds, because you really shouldn't be stinking as much as you do. So this armpit detox is really great to do on a quarterly routine. I actually have it in my planner so I don't forget, and it pops up on my phone. Oh, this month, armpit detox. And when you're going to want to do that is, I usually do it for maintenance for a week. You know, if I can do it every day, great. If I forget to do it every other day, that's fine too. So there's two ways you can use this armpit detox. One way is you can make your own. And I'm the type of person, I like doing it yourself because I use a lot of these ingredients. I have a lot of them at home. So if you have Benetton clay, you can find that. I got mine from Amazon. And you use apple cider vinegar. Get yourself like a little mason jar or a glass container. And you use a wooden stick because anytime you're using Benetton clay, you don't want to use like a metal spoon. So just use yourself a wooden stick. Kind of stir it all together. You want it to become like a thick paste. And then some oils that are really great for detoxing are going to be cilantro. It's going to help pull those heavy metals out. It's probably not going to smell the best. I know a lot of people don't like cilantro. So you can add the rosemary or melaleuca, which is our tea tree oil. Those are all really great for pulling out toxins, even geranium, like Carleigh mentioned before. So you can get creative with the smells, but the go-to is the cilantro and rosemary, really, really giving that amped up. So if you want, you can take a picture of the screen with your phone. You can write it down. You're going to do 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of Benetton clay, 2 tablespoons of water, and then you can do 2 to 5 drops of the cilantro and the rosemary. If it doesn't feel like it's getting like a good enough paste for you, add some more water. So you just, after I'm done mixing it with my little spatula there, I just apply it right onto my underarms. I relax on my biomat, which is far infrared technology, kind of like what Carleigh was talking about. And I let that dry just like you would a face mask. And then I just either jump in the shower after that to rinse them off, or I take a warm washcloth and just wipe it off. So those are a couple, sorry guys. That's just a couple of, different ingredients that you can use to make it. But I know that there's some people are like, no, I don't want to sit there and make that stuff. And you have that jar, which you can make enough for your week and you're good. So doTERRA actually has a detoxifying mud mask. Well, as you know, as much as you can about the oils and natural living, you need one product to do almost everything, which is awesome. You need less products. Saves you more money in the long run. So you can use their mud mask as the armpit detox. It's really great to use on blemishes and even bug bites. When your kid gets a bug bite, you get a bug bite, it's going to help with that Benetton clay actually pull out some of that bug poison, as you will. And it's going to help the circulation and healing from there. So the mud mask has myrrh, juniper berry, which Carleigh mentioned, grapefruit, which is your citrus oil. And it's going to help reduce the appearance of pores when you actually use it on your face. So give yourself a face treatment. Use that as some of your self-care. Put it on your underarms and use that for a week every 3 months. And if you are switching from that natural deodorant to, from your regular deodorant to a natural deodorant, and you're doing that switch, I say do this for about 2 weeks. Give yourself really time. This is a great time to do it. You don't have to worry about that really high heat. When I was living in Tennessee, when I first made the switch, I started to try doing it in summer. And when you're in 95, 100 degree weather, it's not the time you want to be doing it. So as the weather is getting cooler and your armpits are covered, if you have a little extra stank, you're good to go. Hopefully it's not going to be too bad because you're not having that extra sweat. But this is something that even my boyfriend, hopefully he doesn't overhear me, he'll be like, we need to be doing the detox. When is it? I'm like, oh, you're right on cue because it's in a couple of days. Your body starts to know, and it's just that extra help because your body's doing so much work on a daily basis getting rid of those toxins. But this is going to help that overload. You think of it as a bucket. Your bucket can only hold so much. These extra things that Carleigh have taught you, the armpit detox, are just going to help pull out to make your body do it a little bit easier. Yeah. So you can either make your own or use doTERRA's fabulous butt mask.
Exactly. Thank you. That's
Oh, one more thing I just thought of real quick too. If you are a little bit red underneath in your underarms, that's okay. It's just pulling everything to the top. It is bringing your blood to the surface. So don't be alarmed if you're using it on your face or your underarms. It will be a little bit red. But if you're having irritation or, just like anything, blisters or rashes, lay off of it for a little bit. But a little bit of redness is okay.
Okay, good to know. So we know the difference between when to worry and not to worry. Okay, so to go along with that, we've talked a lot about the essential oils you can use to help aid the colon, the liver, and all the different organs to detox. But the reason we use doTERRA is because they just make it so easy. Going back to that wellness lifestyle, they have, this is a company that's full of educated doctors. And so they have researched and really poured a lot of time and effort into formulating things that are important, effective, gentle, safe, mild, and very extremely effective in doing its job. So this kit is called the Cleanse and Restore Kit. And I'm going to break it down into each individual part. If you want to, if you're interested in knowing each part, you can go ahead and, as I go through the slides, you can take a quick picture of it just so you'll have it for the records, because I'm not going to spend too much time on each one of these things. But this is something that we personally use, because if you were to go to a functional medicine doctor, functional medicine is just somebody who wants to recognize their, take, regular doctor, and then you take somebody who look at the root cause of things, and they start putting you on a detox path. Everything they're going to put you on supplemental wise is in this kit already that doTERRA has created. And they make it in one beautiful little package where you don't have to go on this website and that website and get it from here, there, and everywhere. You just get this and you're done. And it's completely effective. Now, we're going to talk about the things you can use. So we're going to go over these things that you can use, but how often do you want to detox? It used to be that once a year, twice a year was good enough, but we are bombarded with toxins so much that I would recommend everybody should really start looking at doing a detox quarterly, which is every 3 to 4 months. So you're talking fall, summer, spring, and winter. So all 4 seasons is around the time that you want to do a detox. Now, we're not really going to talk about eating, but right now it's the beginning of November. Nobody's really wanting to think about, going on a cleanse and detoxing. Everybody's going to be doing a lot of eating from here on out. So not only because of cold weather, but other reasons. So for that reason alone, it might be a good time. Like if you can budget it, and we're going to go into how you can get these products, it might be you have a good 2 or 3 weeks where you can at least calm the stomach and get some of this detox going before the winter months ahead hit us and our diets get a little out of control. So just something to think about. So 3 to 4 times a year is what you're looking at. So each of these subjects that would come in this Cleanse and Restore Kit, we're going to start with the basics, right? We're talking about eating right. This is the Lifelong Vitality Pack. This is going to be, if you are not eating a healthy diet or you're missing things from your diet, our soils are depleted. Even if we eat the best, healthiest diet out there, we are not getting all the nutrients we need. I'd love to say that we are, but we're not. Our soils and things are just not able to produce the kind of nutrition that we need them to through our fruits and vegetables and other things. So we need a supplement. So the wonderful thing about doTERRA supplement is the vitamins are food-based, so they are not synthetic, but it's something that your body can recognize and utilize. And each bottle has something else. You're going to get your vitamins and minerals from the microplex, and then you're going to get your essential omegas, your fatty acids that you need that are healthy for the body. And doTERRA has added 9 essential oils that are important for the body as well to that supplement. And then the Alpha CRS, that's your cellular blend, your antioxidant blend that helps give you energy and just helps you on that cellular level to kind of rejuvenate yourself. So this is going to be at the foundation. That's why it's included in the kit. You can't do a detox if you're not nourishing and putting something healthy in. And I will just say this too, whenever your body does do detox, remember, it does it naturally every single day, but when you want to do a little bit harder on the system, which means you're really trying to pull things out, don't forget your body naturally has to use vitamins and minerals to do that. That's its way of helping. It uses those vitamins and minerals to pull toxins out. So you can get depleted on your vitamins and nutrients just from trying to do detox. So it's important that you take a supplement that is actually giving you those back so that you're not getting depleted by trying to detox. So we want to make sure you keep nourishment in as well. Okay, so one of the main parts of this kit is we're going to start with the colon, right? Our pathways, intestines. So this 2 combo is amazing. I have never seen anything work so fantastic on an intestinal tract as far as cleaning it out and nourishing it. So what you do in this cleanse, and we'll get into how you can do it at the end of this, but what doTERRA has you do is you start out with the GX Assist, and I wrote down there what it has inside of it: the oregano, melaleuca, lemon, lemongrass, peppermint, thyme, and caprylic acid. Those are all things that are good for going in the intestines and cleansing it out, getting rid of all the bad guys. You want to do that for 10 days. You don't start the PB Assist is your probiotic defense formula. We don't start that yet. We want to go in there and get all the bad stuff out first. Once you do that for 10 days, then you're going to stop the GX Assist, and then for the next 20 days, if you were doing a 30-day cleanse, you want to go and start adding your probiotic. So these two are supposed to work as a combo together. It's incredible. If you were to do nothing else, I would tell you do your lifelong vitality for your nutrition and do these, and that would be good enough. I'm not going to say the other stuff isn't important. They're amazing and huge, but I would definitely start with those 2 first. That's why they're listed first. Okay, so also another thing that's just as important as probiotic, we have to think foundation of what our bodies need. Our bodies need enzymes. So enzymes are important for all of the things listed here. So we need it to help process through processed foods. We need it to convert food into nutrients. We need it for gastrointestinal comfort. We need it for our metabolism. We need it to bind to other things and tame the tummy. So interesting enough, the reason our bodies today are so depleted of natural enzymes in the stomach is because we're not chewing our food anymore. We're in such a hurry. We're not sitting down and actually sitting and chewing and eating our food. Did you know that each time you put a bite of food in your mouth that you should really be chewing it for 30 to 50 bites? I just try that. On your next meal, I want you to take a bite of something and try to chew it for 30 bites with your teeth, 30 to 50. You won't last 10 to 15 to 20 because it's going to be excruciating. And think, if you were to do every bite like that, how long would you be sitting there? And that's what builds these enzymes. That's what makes your stomach produce these enzymes to be able to break down the food. But we're not doing that. So it's really important that we take an enzyme that helps do all this process and help heal that gut that we're trying to do through the detox. So, okay, so another complex that's amazing. And we talked about all the vital organs, right? And all the pathways of detoxing. And in this complex alone, it targets every single one. And I love how it breaks it down. If you look here, I'd take a picture of it because it tells you exactly all the food extracts that are in it and what part of the system that it works on. So it affects every single one. Now, I will tell you right now, doTERRA is not having this. It's out of stock. And so this is something that they're trying very hard to get back in stock for us so that we can use it again, but because it is so amazing. But it is one that if you wanted to do this detox now, this would be one that we would have to leave out until they are able to get that restocked for us. So if we are doing this cleanse, because none of the other parts of the cleanse have anything. Like if you notice here on the colon part, it talks about psyllium husk. Well, that's going to be something like fiber that helps to get the colon going. So I would really recommend, if you do this cleanse, eat more fiber so that you can replace, if you don't have this complex you do it with, you're going to want something as far as like that psyllium husk or something that's going to help get that colon going as well. Zindecrine soft gels. So the other one was called the Zindecrine complex. This is the soft gels. The difference is that had food extracts. These are just the essential oils listed here in a capsule form. So you have your tangerine, your rosemary, your geranium, your juniper, and cilantro. If you heard us talking, we talked about how geranium, juniper were really good for the liver and the kidneys. Tangerine, rosemary, cilantro, they're all the ones that are really good for helping the organs and for detox. So this is a really good one to have as part of that framework of a detox. And then we have lemon. So we all know that lemon is really good for us as far as cleaning. That's why so many cleaning products have it as lemon, because it's good for cleaning the outside exterior parts of our lives. So it's also good for cleaning the inside. It's good for our respiratory system. It's good for any kind of citrus oil is really good for uplifting the mood as well. It purifies the air, surfaces, all of those things. So we have all of these benefits of using the lemon. I told you you could use it on your body for your lymphatic system, be drinking it in your water, all of the above. And then last but not least, that's part of that kit, is DDR Prime. This is a cellular complex. This is your antioxidant support. This is your oxidative stress support. This is the one that's going to get you from that cellular level and bring you back to life. And I will tell you, the first time I used this, I was down and out, and I started taking this, and I could not believe, I just felt like I was on the couch and not able to move a lot. And within 2 weeks, I felt like my whole body came back to life just from using this and nothing else. This is amazing. It has a frankincense in it. Frankincense is just case study after case study of how good it is. It can pass the blood-brain barrier. It can help you on those free radicals and help you on that cellular level. So this is absolutely something that needs to be had in that detox so that you can nourish that body on that cellular level. And so that is all of the things that you would get in the kit. So how do you get these awesome products? I'm going to tell you about that. But first, we're going to do a giveaway. So I thought it was appropriate that if we're going to be doing detox, then the giveaway has to be something that's going to help you detox more than anything, and that's lemon. Yay! So Sarah, who is the winner of this wonderful lemon?
All right, well, I'm going to share my screen so y'all can see my my wheel. All right, my wheel of names, here we go. Figured this to be exciting for everyone to watch. Carleigh, you win the lemon. I will make sure we get that to you.
Yay!
That was exciting. I like that wheel. It's better than my other name picker.
We need to do like a whole, 5-10 minutes of just the wheel.
Right?
Awesome.
How do I get back up here? Let's see. Why don't I see my... Sorry, guys. Stop share. There it is. All right, Carleigh, you can finish your sharing.
Okay. So do I just need to share again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Whoops. Is that? Oh.
Did I totally screw you up? I'm sorry.
Let's see. Nope, that's not it. Let me find my
It's
thing.
down here by your keynote. You just hit the play at the bottom.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yay! I'm glad you could see that. I'm still learning computer stuff. Okay, so how can you get these products? So as I told you, that Zindecrine complex is out. It won't be back. doTERRA is working hard to get it back for us. And so the Cleanse and Restore Kit is not available at this time. If you do not have an account with doTERRA, and you're new to doTERRA, the Cleanse and Restore Kit is an enrollment kit. It doesn't mean you can't get it if you do have a doTERRA account, but it is an option at a more cost-effective thing that doTERRA does have. But if you don't have an account with doTERRA, there are two options for you to get products. You can do it at retail, but why do retail when you get 25% off? And everybody loves to save money, right? 25% off is just like a Costco or Sam's membership, where you just pay $35 for the year, and then you can buy as much as you want or as little as you want throughout the year. And then it renews annually every year for $25, and you receive a free 15 milliliter bottle of peppermint. So if you are not enrolled with doTERRA already as a wholesale customer, I definitely recommend that you go to the person that invited you and ask them about it, because it's just the way to go. Now, there's another option too, is the Loyalty Rewards program. It's not required to have a wholesale membership, but it is the best way to buy products. So the Loyalty Rewards is where you are ordering monthly, and doTERRA rewards you for ordering monthly by giving you points back in products. So you can think of like if you fly on an airplane and you were signed up for a point system. If you fly all the time and you're not signed up to receive points, you're wasting your time, right? So if you're going to fly all the time, you might as well be getting points so that you can build those up for free airfare later. Same with doTERRA. If you know you're going to use these products and you're going to be using them all the time, you might as well be part of the Loyalty Rewards program and build up your point system, because you will get awesome free products. And I mean, I get hundreds of points per year for free products, and it's just amazing. It's like awesome to go into my shopping cart and be able to get all these things for free. So using that Loyalty Rewards program, since we can't get the Cleanse and Restore Kit now, but if you wanted it right now, if you have a doTERRA account and you were part of the Loyalty Rewards program, you can do a couple things to make it the cheapest way. You can put that Lifelong Vitality Pack in your shopping cart. When you do that, it gives you the option, if you notice all of these things down here, you have the ability to get all of these products, at least 3 of them, at a discounted price. I want you to look at that wholesale price. Just look at TerraZyme for a second. The wholesale price is $37.50. If you put that Lifelong Vitality Pack in your cart and this pops up, you can now get that TerraZyme for $20. So that's a huge savings from the wholesale price. And then you can get the PB Assist. So that would be 2 parts, the Lifelong Vitality and then the probiotic and the TerraZyme. You could get that at a discounted price, and then all you would have to add to your cart would be Lemon, DDR Prime, the Zendocrine Soft Gels, and the GX Assist. And then hopefully, I'm hoping within the next month or 2, the Zendocrine Complex will be back up for us to order. But until then, you could do the whole thing just minus the complex to get yourself going. Now, that's how you would do getting the products the cheapest way. So if you are part of doTERRA already, if you already have a wholesale membership and you already are part of our team, you should already be part of our Oil Squad portal. If you are not part of this, you want to ask the people that invited you here so you can be a part of this, because this 30-day cleanse that I just went through the steps, you are not having to do it alone to figure it out. If you are part of this Oil Squad, all you have to do is take your password, log in, and if you go down, and I circled it here, you go down to the 30-day reset cleanse, and you can download all the information in there, and it walks you step by step on exactly how to do this cleanse so that you don't have to do it alone, but you have all the resources that you need to get it done. So if you have any questions on that, let us know, but it should be pretty easy for you to be able to do that. And
Carleigh,
yes, yeah.
I just wanted to mention that Oil Squad portal is on Facebook.
No, it's actually separate.
It's separate now?
Yeah, the Oil Squad is our Facebook group, our support group, that if you are enrolled with us, we do have the support of the Facebook group that you can be a part of. But that Oil Squad portal is actually separate. It's just an online website that you can go to. But we named it the Oil Squad so that you would know it's still part of our team.
Is that the one Julia just did.
Yeah.
I have it pulled up here too, and I can show you. I'll share my screen. So
Okay, great. Thank you.
one of your leaders should have, you know, when I send people, whoever signs up, I usually send them in your email. So check your emails. When I first give you your login, your password, it'll also say the education portal. So check that. If not, let us know and we'll make sure you have it. So when you log in with whatever login that we give you, like Carleigh said, you go over here, you click the 30-day reset cleanse. So start here with the 30-day reset, you click it, it has everything you need. It even has, I'm pretty sure, recipes. Come on. Oh, down here. It has you download everything. It has recipes, it has a checklist, it has your weekly goals. The recipes are amazing, by the way. It has stuff to help you with your emotions. This is all free to you guys, and this is all downloadable, making it for whenever you want it. So you don't have to do it with everyone. We do cleanses a couple times a year with our team, if you want to do it with our team. But say you wanted to get started now. Julia has the videos in here. She tells you about it, what you're taking and why. And then it literally walks you through step by step, so you have easy access to be able to do this all on your own. So this is one of the perks of being a part of our fabulous oil team. And then there's other different things in here too. Gut and health detox, it talks about that, your skin and beauties, you know, your top 10 oils and how to use your oils. So for those of you who really, you know, want to dive in deeper to learn, you are going to be your best educator. We're here to give you the tools, and the knowledge is up to you. So we're here laying it out for you, and we made it super easy.
So any questions? Sarah, I can't check the chat box. I don't know if that's anything come in that way. And you're on mute. I don't hear you.
Nope, we are all caught up with the chat box.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome.
All right. Well, if there's no questions, then please feel free to contact the person that invited you, and they can catch up with you and see how you like the class, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Awesome. And then we will be doing, if we do have a BOGO week in November, I will pop on and we will get you all ready for an oil class with the BOGOs and just kind of touching on your basic knowledge for oils. All right, before we jump off, any questions? Nope. All right, well, thank you so much, Carleigh. I am going to stop the recording. And if you guys joined in later or you need this recording, just let us know and we can send that